We have all experienced the 4 seasons in our lives, and we remember in particular that summers are usually hot while winters are usually cold. Why is that? Why is the temperature so different between the 2 seasons? In this video, we will go over what seasons are in a nutshell, tilt of the Earth, and why the northern and southern hemisphere have flipped seasons. Let's go over why we have seasons first, which is actually quite fascinating. Our Earth rotates by itself to complete a day, and it revolves around the Sun to complete a year. A common misconception is that seasons actually aren't due to the distance away from the Sun, it is actually due to the tilt of the Earth. As the Earth revolves in space, it is actually tilted by 23.5 degrees. This tilt was likely caused by a giant rock that hit Earth millions of years ago, named Theia, which actually may have become the Moon. This tilt is important because it adjusts how much sunlight the Earth gets at different times during the year. If the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the Sun, it will get more direct sunlight, as there is less surface for the sunlight to hit due to the tilt. More sunlight means more warmth, which leads to summers for the northern hemisphere at this time. As the Earth revolves to the opposite side of the Sun, the northern hemisphere will be tilted away from the Sun, which leaves a lot more surface area for the sunlight to hit. The Sun's energy is almost always the same, but since it is dispersed to a wider surface due to the tilt, the same amount of solar energy from summer suddenly feels a lot weaker. This is what leads to winters, as less sunlight hits Earth due to a higher surface area that the light covers. We also notice that through all of this revolving around, the southern hemisphere has the opposite effect as the northern hemisphere. As the northern hemisphere tilts towards the Sun, the southern hemisphere tilts away, and when the northern hemisphere tilts away from the Sun, the southern hemisphere tilts forward. This is why the seasons between the two hemispheres are opposite of each other. So, when we have a Canadian winter, then there is an Australian summer happening at the same time. And there we have it. Seasons are formed because of the tilt of the Earth, but not the distance. The Sun showers us with around the same amount of solar energy all year round, but as the Earth tilts towards the Sun, the northern hemisphere gets a lot more sunlight as it is more concentrated at a smaller surface. Whereas when the Earth tilts away from the Sun, the northern hemisphere gets less sunlight due to it dispersing over a larger surface. The southern hemisphere has the opposite seasons because it has the opposite tilt. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for watching, and good luck with everything!